I swear I left Zambia with the full open mind that I'm going to school and I'm gonna vlog this. I want to show everyone I'm gonna start my YouTube journey. Then I got to Budapest. Then everything turned sour. Hi, my name is Cody and this is my first YouTube video. So if you see me looking around, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm also excited that I'm finally doing this. And I didn't want the footage that I had to go to waste, so I decided on doing a story time. So if this is something you like, make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment, let me know what you think about this video. Maybe you want me to give more stories or you want me to do more story time. Let me know in the comment section because I definitely do have a lot of stories. So without wasting so much time, let's get into the video. I guess I would start. It was on the 4th, I believe, which was on a Thursday, and I was traveling from, so the way my point of journey was going to be was Zambia. From Zambia I was going to make a stop in Tanzania. That's very important. And then from Tanzania I was gonna go to Turkey, then Turkey, Budapest, then Budapest to school here in Ukraine. So Ukraine was gonna be my final stop, right? So it started in the morning. I got ready, packed everything, put it in the car. My grandfather was the one that was supposed to bring me, but along the way things changed. He had an emergency he needed to attend to, very understandable, so my uncle took me instead. Now along that change we kind of like delayed a bit, and my flight was at 14:40 and by 12 we were still not there, and I was panicking a little bit because I was like, what am I going to do now? Mind you, I do have online classes, but I did not inform my professors that I am traveling, which was a bad idea. In my head I was thinking to say, because of the times that my flight is scheduled, I'm going to make it for class, definitely. So anyway, we finally got to the airport, I think around 12 to 13ish, somewhere there, and I was trying to find where we are going to like do all the check-ins and everything. Then went and weighed my bag, found that my bag was heavier than the normal weight limit. So the weight limit is like 23 and my bag was like 25, not really much. But I was thinking to say that since I'm only having one bag, maybe they're going to allow me to pass. No, that is not the case. So you just have to make sure that your weight is within the weight range for each bag. Doesn't matter whether you're carrying 1, 2, it has to be in that weight limit. So I had to remove some stuff, wear certain clothes for it to now reduce to the limit that it was supposed to be. So after that, went through check-in, took some pictures with my uncles, and I finally was ready, boarded the plane, and we now got to Tanzania. Before getting to Tanzania, I was on a flight. I was kind of beat down because I was expecting the window seat, but only to find that the window seats were taken and only the middle and aisle seats were available, so I was given the aisle seat. So anyway, from my flight from Zambia to the stop in Tanzania, it was okay. It was not a full flight, so I asked the flight attendant if I would sit like by the window, which I took really cool shots because I wanted to make this really nice aesthetic kind of vlog. So I was going for that. Then I did everything that I could. Like I took pictures, I took videos, which was really nice. I'm going to try and insert them here. Then from there it was gonna be a full flight from Tanzania to Turkey. So from Tanzania to Turkey, it was a full flight. I had to get back on my seat, and finally we were in Turkey, I think around 3 in the morning, because my next flight was around 8:15. Yeah, 8:15. So 3 in the morning we got there, and I had a layover of let's say 5 hours, but then we kind of like delayed the time in Tanzania, so instead of it being a 1 hour stop, it turned into a 2 hour stop. So my layover now changed from 5 to 4, which was okay for me. So we got to Turkey. I had to eat. I had McDonald's, the breakfast menu. It was okay. And from there I got on the next flight, which was to Budapest. Got to Budapest, went through immigration. Now here comes the turning point. I walk out and I'm now looking for my bag. My bag is nowhere to be seen. I went round like the hour where you have to collect your bags. I went round, went to the other one. I still couldn't see my bag, so I was now kind of confused. I'm like, where's my bag? And then there was this security lady that was there. She kind of like saw me moving around fidgeting, like she noticed. So I walked up to her and she was like, hi, is your name Cody? I'm like, yeah, how did you know? Then she goes like, oh, so your bag is not here. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, your bag is not here. I'm like, if it's not here, where is it? She's like, I don't know, maybe it's in Turkey. I'm like, how is my bag? How am I here and my bag is not here? She's like, oh, your bag remains, so you need to come sign some forms. And she's now giving me all these explanations. And she was like, for better understanding, let's go to the office. So we went by the office. She gave me the form. She was asking me details about the bag and telling me what's gonna happen in case that bag is not seen. I'm like, I don't care about the compensation. I just want my bag, because there were some things in that bag that I did not want to lose at all. There were some gifts that I received and I was like, I don't care about I just want my bag. She was like, okay, we'll try to make follow up to see where your bag is, but I think it should be in Turkey. I'm like, if not in Turkey, because that's the only point that I was connecting my flight, where would it be? So aside that took time. So I think I got to Budapest. There's a time difference, an hour difference between Turkey and Budapest. So when I got there, it was still 8. So when I got to Budapest, by the whole time this whole chaos was done, it was already 9:30. So I'm now seeing messages from my professor, Cody, where are you? Why haven't you joined for class? And the group leader was also texting me, and I'm like, oh my days, I was so busy in the chaos, I forgot that I had class that I needed to attend to. So here I am now joining the class, and the professor is just furious. She's fuming. She was like, where have you been? You did not even communicate. What happened? And before I could even give the explanation, I was already standing like outside with the form in my hand, because I was so lost. My bag is not here. I don't even know where it is, and here I am joining class with an absent-minded. So the plan was that when I get to Budapest, I was gonna use the bus. Then with the bus, I was gonna get to the city center. Then from the city center, I was gonna get on a cab to now go to the place I had booked for the accommodation. That was the plan. Now, Cody, in the middle of that chaos, decided to order a taxi. The taxi was expensive, and I realized after I got to the place where I was going. So I got on the taxi because I was panicking, and I was there sitting. I'm like, how am I going to now? I'm forgetting I'm in class and I'm connected to the airport Wi-Fi. At some point it got disconnected. I left class, and now my professor is fuming why I just joined for like a few minutes and I'm gone again. So I got to the place where I booked. It's a hostel, not a hotel. That's another issue again. I wish I had booked a hotel instead, but I booked for a hostel. And when I did inform them that I needed an early check-in. So in my mind I was like, okay, let me get to the place, log in and do my class. So I got there, I got to the receptionist. They asked for my details, and he says like, your room is not ready. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, I'm so sorry, your room will be ready by 3. That's 9. And you're telling me my room will be ready by 3. I had already informed you about the early check-in. Did you not do that. He was like, let me see. Okay, we did see that you requested for an early check-in, but unfortunately that was not done. So I'm there now. The bag is lost, my class is in chaos. I get to the place and I cannot even do an early check-in because the room is not ready. So I'm like, okay, can I at least sit somewhere and have this class? And he's like, yeah, you can go to the dining area. So I went to the dining area, finally joined class, and my professor is just like, Cody, I'm so disappointed. You've been not in class, you did not communicate, I don't even know what's happening. I'm reporting you to the dean's office. Before I could even explain myself, she's already calling the dean's office. And luckily, something on my side that day, the dean's office was just like, okay, if she has a very good excuse as to why she's not in class on time, then maybe we can allow her. But if she doesn't have a good excuse, then don't allow her in class. So the burnout came to me. Why am I not in class? I had to make up something. I'm like, oh, I had to take some documents to the German embassy because I'm doing some another consequence of my action of me lying to say I'm doing the whole German process when I'm not. I wish I had just said the truth there and then, but then I decided to come up with another lie. So I told her this lie and she was like, okay, fine, we'll believe you, we'll allow you for today. So that's how she allowed me for the class. I did all the tasks that was necessary for that day. The class finished, and I think it finished by 1:30 to 2. I'm not really sure, but in between that time. So while the class was going on, my mind was still, oh, I need the room, I need my bag, what am I gonna do? So the flight did give us like complimentary bags. Let me show you. The airline did give us these complimentary bags, and inside there was like a shirt, there was deodorant as well, there was shampoo, there was earbuds, and I don't know, some other stuff as well, which was not enough for what I needed, because in as much as I had my hand luggage, so it was just a laptop bag, and there was only gadgets in it, like my laptop and I think my purse too, which had my cards and my passports and every other thing, my phones and whatnot. That was the only thing the gadgets were the only thing in the bag, so I didn't have any clothes to like change into. So I'm not worried. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I supposed to do? Because I do not have clothes to change. I'm now informing my parents. I'm now coming down to earth, letting them know this is what's up, and everybody's shocked. They're like, but where's your bag? I'm like, I do not know. So my uncle is like, can you follow up, call them to see how far they've gone with like the luggage issue? And that was like, I think around 2:30ish. So I'm calling them back. I'm like, hey, this is Cody, I just wanted to find out how far you guys have gone with a bag. And they're like, oh, so we are tracking it and we think it's in Tanzania. What? What do you mean my bag is in Tanzania? And I was so lost. I was dumbfounded. I couldn't hold it in. I bawled out and cried. I'm like, what do you mean my bag is in Tanzania? They were like, yeah, but we'll see what we can do, we're trying our best. And from what I was just hearing is that your bag is missing and you're not gonna see it again. And I sat down, thought of everything that was in it, and I'm like, the airline is not gonna replace all that. So I'm now calling my dad. I'm now crying, oh, my bag, they're telling me it's in Tanzania. So they were like, did you change flights when you got to Tanzania? I'm like, no. So why would your bag be in Tanzania? They were like, maybe it's a glitch or something in their system, let's just hope it's not in Tanzania. So, and I'm there, my room is not ready, my bag is probably in Tanzania. Luckily enough, the class was sorted out So I sat down, and finally, I think between 2:30 and 3, my room finally got ready, and I had to go upstairs to freshen up. And before I could even go there, the guy's handing me the keys, and he goes like, "Oh, by the way, your room is a mixed room." So I'm getting the keys. I'm like, "What's a mixed room? What are you talking about?" Then he goes like, "Oh, it means that you can share with a guy in the room." I'm like, "What?" You've got to be kidding me. So not only is everything happening to me, finally when I get you're telling me I'm having a mixed room. Is there a way you can change? It's like, "Oh, for today the rooms are fully booked, we can change by maybe tomorrow." Maybe tomorrow it can. I don't even know if I'll be here tomorrow, because you're putting me in a room with some random person that I don't even know. I was so scared, and it's like, okay, if it comes down, it's only one person for now. Anybody can walk in, and that's the room that's only available, meaning I was too tired to process the whole room man thing, and them not able to change it. They were like, "Oh, when you booked on the website, you actually booked for a mixed room and not." I'm like, I do not even remember me booking for such, because I wouldn't. I don't know anyone who would, but I wouldn't. So I finally get to the room, freshen up, and to add icing on it, my period decided to show up that day as well. They just came in. I understood, because I was so stressed, I was so tired. I guess it's because of the stress, because it wasn't even that time of the month, but they just decided to show up. So I remember being in the bathroom crying my eyes out, because I just couldn't believe or process everything that's going on. For starters, with the room, why am I in a mixed room? Where is my bag? I'm like, I've had a long day, so I think I ordered some food for that night, and I retired early. I just went to sleep because I was too exhausted to even function. So anyway, it's now the following morning, and I'm there, and my uncle called me in the morning, and he's like, "Okay, let's do this. I need you to go to the airline immediately, like at the airport where they told you to sign those forms. Request that to tell them you're a student traveling to Ukraine, and you need probably maybe a place to stay in the meantime, so that you don't waste so much money, because it's not your fault that the bag is missing and you have to stay and wait for that bag. It's their fault. They need to own up to it." I'm like, yeah. So I got up, took a shower. Now the painting part is that I'm still wearing the same clothes that I was wearing when I started off my journey in Zambia, and now I'm in Budapest still in those clothes because my bag is missing, and the only thing the airline would give me is a shirt. So I woke up late that day, unfortunately, and it was almost close to checkout time. Checkout time was like at 10, and I woke up at 9, so I only had like an hour to shower and everything. So I showered, I went downstairs, and then the receptionist, I gave her the card. She's like, "Oh, your name is Cody?" I'm like, "Yeah, my name is Cody." And she goes like, "Oh, so you're the one whose luggage is here?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "The airline brought your luggage last night, but we thought you were sleeping, so we didn't want to give it to you, because we thought..." I just grabbed my bag. At that point, I was done. I was relieved that my bag is there, but again, I was pissed. I'm like, if you knew how I had the sleepless night because I was thinking of this bag, I'm still wearing the same clothes I came with from Zambia. So the least thing I needed to do was I just grabbed my bag, and it's already too late. I've already checked out. I can't go back to the room. Well, maybe I could. I didn't ask. I just grabbed my bag and I left, because I wanted to leave immediately. I was already done with Budapest. I was done. So I got in a taxi. This time it was cheap, it wasn't expensive, so I got on a taxi went to the train station hoping to find an immediate train that was leaving for Ukraine. So I got there, asked around, I'm like, hey, where can I buy tickets, like international tickets? So they showed me downstairs, went down, reached the ticket lady, and I was like, I want one ticket that's going to Ukraine. She was like, for today? I'm like, yes, for today. So she's checking in her system. There was one that was supposed to be available at 12, fully booked. Another one at 14, fully booked. Another one at 17, fully booked. The only one that was available was the one at 22:40 with only 3 seats left. We had 3 seats left. So I'm like, yeah, just give me the very same one, because I don't want to stay here. So she's like, okay, do you want to pay cash or with card? I'm like, card. We swipe. Guess what the card decided to do? Decline. The card declined. Now remember, I used taxi from the airport to where the accommodation is. That's what made me have less money than I initially planned. And now I started to panic, and she was like, oh, you need to hurry up because these tickets sell fast. I'm now trying to reach out to my mom, who is offline, went to my dad, also offline, tried my sister, offline. I was trying everybody on my contact list, that's in Zambia obviously, that would reach out to my parents and let them know that the child needs so I'm texting them, I'm trying to call them, and finally I reached my grandfather, who's also like, oh, right now I'm at the funeral, so he's not able to like respond to me on time because he was at the funeral now. So I'm there, I'm like, how do I get to my parents? So luckily in the space of all that, my mom finally comes online, and I'm there just telling me, Mom, you're not gonna believe this, the card actually declined. And my eyes, I'm still crying. Like, the card declined because I don't have enough money. And I'm explaining to her. She was like, did you not have enough money? Now I was not gonna tell her that your child used taxi instead of the bus, but I kept that to myself. So I just thought I'd say, I don't know what happened, could you please send? And luckily now she had something. Now remember, it was, I think, a Saturday and the banks are closed, so the only way she was gonna do is a mobile transfer. So she had some cash on her mobile money and she was gonna do the transfer. Airtel decided to do its thing, left the chart. Airtel just left, and she was like, oh, the network is terrible, but we're trying to do our best. So I didn't want her to panic as well, so I just thought I'd say okay. And now I'm seeing the lady's like, oh, only 2 tickets left. I'm like, will I make it on that? And she was like, if I don't go the very day, it would mean I would travel, I think, on a Monday, because Sunday's trains don't work. I don't know, either the Sunday trains were booked, so the only trains that were available again was the ones on Monday. I didn't want to travel on Monday because of my classes. Now remember, I had already trouble with my professor previously, so I didn't want to have trouble again with her. So finally the money came through, and I was the last person to buy the last seat. It finally went through and I bought it, and my heart finally came down to, okay, now I'm traveling at 22:40. I need to make sure I'm at the train, waiting for this train. So it wasn't yet showing on the screen when the train is gonna be at what gate, so I had to wait till, like, I was told 20-21ish, that's when the gates are gonna show. So in the meantime, and that was like already 10, so from 10 to 22 I had to linger around the area. So I would have, if I was not at the time of the month, I would have gone out to like explore Budapest, but I was tired, I was cramping, I just wanted to like find a place to sit and rest. So they do have like the premium lounge, and then they have another lounge area for common people. In the lounge area there was no socket, there was no internet or Wi-Fi whatsoever, so I was very uncomfortable there, and my phone battery was starting to go down. And I was like, okay, I need to make sure while I'm traveling I charge at least my phone, right? So I see there's the premium lounge, and I'm like, so they have like one of those ads outside that shows who's eligible to enter the premium lounge. So it said that if you have a ticket, in my case where my ticket is at 22.40 and I have to be there, so I was eligible to enter. So I went into the premium lounge, and the lady I found was not the nicest that you would ever meet. She saw me and she was already rolling her eyes, and I'm like, ooh, 2025. But anyway, I got in, and I told her, so I have a long waiting layover because my train is going to be at 22.40, and she's like, can I see your ticket? So I show her the ticket, and she's like, oh, it's only for first class. You're not first class. If you're not first class, you cannot sit here. I'm like, but your ad says that if I have a long. She's like, yeah, only. Okay, fine, I get it. Is there a way maybe I could like pay to sit? She's like, no, you cannot pay for it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I left, and I found the guy that was like showing people around what direction they should go to, where their trains would be, what station and everything. So I went up to him and I asked him, so is there a place where I can sit? And he told me, so oh, there's the common lounge, but it's very uncomfortable, but there's also the premium lounge. I'm like, oh, I just came from there, and the lady said that I cannot sit there. He was like, why? So I explained to him the situation. He's like, no, that's not supposed to be the case. Let's go. So we walked in. He was in front of me and I was behind him. So we walked in, he entered, and immediately the lady saw me. She began to blast, and they were talking in their language. But it's the thing about, even if someone is not using the language that you know, but you can understand the altercation, that the lady was like, and the guy was like, no. They were going back and forth. He grabbed my ticket, he's showing her to say no. He's like, no, you are. He now turns back to me. He's like, you are eligible, you can sit here, but then you just have to pay a small amount for you to sit there. And then she goes like, she can only sit here for 2 hours. I'm like, okay, I don't mind. I just need a warm place because it's cold. I need a warm place, and just to charge my phone, and 2 hours is enough for a phone to fully charge for me. I have a very fast charger. So she's like, okay, she's doing her thing on the computer, and she asked me if I'm paying with cash or card, and I tell her card. She gets my card and declines. And I'm confused why it declined, but then the money has been deducted from my account. So I'm confused. I'm like, but the money has been, she's just like, I'm trying to explain to her that I'm like, see, the money has been deducted. Maybe it's a network issue. Could we wait to see if it will reflect on your end, or the money is gonna come back on my end? Because I don't understand. The money has been deducted on my side, but your side is saying something else. She's like, no, please, no. And she shows me the door, and I'm like, okay, I am not welcomed here at all. Let me leave. So that's how I left. And then I texted one of the, I don't know if he's the manager, he's not really the branch manager, but he has a position with ABSA. So I'm texting him to say, hey, I just had this problem, do you know what the issue could be? So I also messaged my dad. I'm like, I'm having this trouble. So my dad now gets back to me and says, oh, ABSA is actually having a maintenance. What a day to pick to have maintenance. What a moment to pick to have maintenance. Because what do you mean they're having maintenance? I was so dumbfounded. I'm like, how am I gonna buy food? Because the only money I have is the money on the card. So how am I supposed to buy food for the rest of the day? Does it mean I have to starve? So my mom is now asking me, is there any way we could send you money? The other way was through my Ukrainian account, but that would take days for it to reflect on it. It's not gonna reflect immediately. So I'm now calling, messaging anyone that I can know so that they can send something. I just wanted something to eat, okay? Because at that point I got hungry. It's got to like, I think 2ish p.m. 3, and I'm texting everybody, say, hey, I need help, da. Others, even though I was messaging them, I already knew the response. So finally, one person, Victoria, showed up. She was like, okay, let me see what I can do for you. So she asked around and finally got something and sent to my account. And by the time it was reaching, I think that was like 4 p.m. That was like 4. And I just wanted something, so I went out, found this restaurant with a very nice gentleman that helped me charge my phone as well. So my phone was charging and I was there sitting eating, and I was trying to reflect everything I went through, because I was like, wow, I've been moving from one type of disaster to another, and I had it at that point. So I asked for his Wi-Fi, and he's like, he doesn't have Wi-Fi at the moment, but I can go to McDonald's, the Wi-Fi is okay. I went to McDonald's, the Wi-Fi was good. I just bought something like a burger to at least, well, I needed to have something. I can't just sit and not have anything, right? So I'm there now, talking to my boyfriend, telling him what a hectic day I just had and everything. I think I also talked to my mom too. Yeah, so before I knew it, time had already elapsed and it was time for me to get back to the train station. So I got back to the train station and got on board, and finally texted my mom, say, hey, I'm on the train, but in case I don't text you, probably I won't have internet. So I'm finally getting back. So the train from Budapest to Ukraine, Lviv, because that's where I was going to, it lasted for how many hours? Because we left at 22:40 and I was in Ukraine by 12:30. Yeah, so you do the math, how many hours. So I got here 12:30, got out, just wanted to sleep. So I came to my room finally, and that's how I had this hectic journey that I'll probably will never forget. It's one of, I don't know, ever since I started traveling alone, like flight from school, home, school, I've never had a proper flight. Most of the time something definitely happens, and this is just like one of the things that eventually had to happen, unless I was on my way to school. So yeah, that's everything that happens. So if this is something you're interested in, or you want me to do more story times, please let me know, and I would really love to hear the comments, to hear from you the crazy stories that you have probably experienced. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and that will be the way to support me, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.